Hey, this is Graham and welcome back to another video. As you guys can see, my trunk is sitting right here. And why is my trunk sitting right here? Well, I will explain it to you. Today's video is sponsored by Fred's Parts, who was very generous and sent me this. This is their own Gascap delete Decklid. It's very much, it's basically the same style as the RTR Decklid with some minor changes that make it slightly better than the RTR Decklid. Just has a little bit more detail put into it, a little bit more effort put into it, which is why I really like it. And I know I'm here to sponsor this, but seriously, this Decklid is nicer than the RTR Decklid in my opinion. Because of the few details that I will touch on in this video. But basically, as you can tell, here's what we've got already. The standard Decklid. I love this badge. I love the way that it looks, but it kind of throws off the lines of the car and everything. So, in my opinion, I think this is the way to go. It just cleans up the back end, makes it look much classier, which I will be adding my own, well, not my own, it's also offered by them. I will be adding a pony badge to it to kind of clean up the look and give it a little bit more refinement, a little bit more taste, I suppose, and just make it look a little bit classier. So, without further ado, we're going to get into this. I'm going to show you guys how to install it, what you need to do. It's cold outside, it snowed yesterday, so that's why my trunk is off and inside, but you can easily do this on your own car. But make sure the temperatures are good so that the 3M tape on the back side of the Decklid, as you guys can see the red lines, that's the 3M tape. You want to make sure that the temperature is around 70 degrees or warmer outside, which of course Georgia's weather was right up until I got this, and then it snowed yesterday, so of course it's cold outside now. But you want to make sure that the temperatures are good before you go to install this, so that it doesn't just fall off while you're driving down the road, because obviously, it really doesn't weigh much at all, so it is only held on by the 3M tape. So you want to make sure that that 3M tape sticks so that you don't lose this beautiful piece of art while you're flying down the road. So, now we'll get into the install. Alright, step one begins with these two Torx screws right here. Those hold the Decklid on. So, remove those. Those are the little like star-shaped kind of screws, so you need this special screw bit for them, but luckily I have that. You can see what that looks like there. It's just that little star-shaped bit. So that's what you got to take out of the Decklid. Obviously, just open the trunk to the fullest position when you do this, and then it should just pop right out. I mean, it's pretty easy. So, on to the next step, removing the actual Decklid. Now, underneath this, which I will show you obviously when I get it off, there are 6 pins along the bottom, 6 along the top, that actually hold the Decklid to the trunk. So you're going to want to use some of these. These are plastic body tools, so that you don't damage your actual paint underneath. Well, not underneath, but maybe along the top. You just don't want to scratch up your paint. So make sure that you use proper tools. Don't try to do this with a screwdriver or something like that, because you'll end up scratching your car, and you don't want that. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, Fred's Parts recommends that you use 2. One to hold, kind of pry the Decklid up, and the other one to kind of push the little pins out. So that's what I'm going to do. Follow the guru's instructions. Off it comes. And look how nasty it is under there. But there you have it. Okay guys, so now that we have the Decklid off, it is time to remove this Wart, as Fred Parts calls it, which I think is a very fitting name because it is a little bit of one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move to my kitchen where there's less to catch on fire, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this off with the Dremel. So make sure that you use precautions whenever you're cutting anything. So that's why I'm moving to the kitchen, just because there's more open space, countertops, stuff that I can cut on rather than above the carpet, which is in here. So we're gonna move it out there. All right, ladies and gents, now it is time to go ahead and cut this off. Always wear eye protection when you're using a Dremel, just because of things that might go flying. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this. It's pretty obvious where you need to cut. Just around the edge, make sure everything that's raised right here is gone. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump into this. Okay, so now that you've completely lost your hearing, no, I'm just kidding. Be sure to wear earplugs when you do this. I was, so, and it was quite loud regardless. So now that you've finished, there is the wart removed, and there's a nice big hole in its place. But now it's time to clean all this up, and then get the new Decklid assembled and ready to go on here. So I'm gonna start just by wiping this off with the damp edge of a microfiber. But also included in the package are, of course, alcohol wipes, so that you can really get this properly cleaned afterwards. But I'm just gonna start with this before I do that, just to get all the big stuff off. Alright guys, so next step, apply your sealant tape to the 12 holes on the Decklid. Cover them up. Well, I guess it's 13 holes, including the big one. But this will keep them, this will waterproof them basically. So now that you have the sealant tape on the trunk lid, it is now time to prep the Decklid for install. And of course, to do that, first I need to install the pony badge. And the pony badge has 4 tabs on the back of it that are used for alignment when installing. And you might look at this and think, how are you going to do that when there's no holes in it? Well, Fred's Parts has thought about that and has added 4 marks on the back of the Decklid that show you where to drill with a 3/16 bit. So what we're going to do now is drill out those holes and install the pony badge. Alright everybody, now that I've got the pony badge so beautifully installed on this thing, it is time to put it on the car. Well, on the trunk. And then we'll put the trunk on the car when we get to it. But time to put the Decklid on the trunk. So first things first, remove the 3M tape. Alright, time for the moment of truth. Fred's Parts recommends that you, because this Decklid has lips around the edge that line up with the actual trunk lid, Fred's Parts recommends that you go from the bottom up so that you can kind of roll it on. Make sure that you get it lined up on both sides. And there you have it guys, your absolutely gorgeous and sleek new classy looking Decklid from Fred's Parts. And of course I have to give a huge shout out to those guys for sponsoring this video. Thank you so much Fred's Parts for sending me the Decklid and allowing me to do this installation video. The guys there are awesome, especially Chainsaw, who is the guy that I spoke to on the phone. They're based out of Texas, so this is a true American part, and for a truly American car. I don't mind if you guys steal that catchphrase, it was totally awesome.
But it does look gorgeous, and I mean, this is exactly what I had in mind for my car. This is exactly what I've wanted. It's got that Need for Speed Mustang look, and I've always liked it. I've always wanted it on mine. And thank you so much, Fred's Parts, for making it possible, making my dream come true here. But of course, I will now give you guys some glamour shots to show it off on the car. But thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, take it easy. Enjoy.